Hello, welcome back to the Remnant News. This is David Gamboa and I'm 11 years old. And today we are reporting from Carlsbad, California.
Hello, my name is Gabriel Gamboa, I'm 13 years old, and we will be informing you about the latest news, which is mental math and the New Jerusalem. But before, we will be going into the fun fact section. The first fun fact is, the word 100 comes from the Old Norse term hundrath, which actually means 120 and not 100.
Another fun fact is that any number times 10 just adds a 0. 3 times 10 is 30. 7 times 10 is 70. And 12 times 10 is 120. Just stick a 0 on the end and boom, you've got your answer. Super simple, super cool, and it's the easiest way to make a number 10 times larger.
Let's talk about the latest news on the streets of gold, pearls, and measurements. But before, we will now go all the way back to the Bible times.
We're going to read from Hebrews chapter 11, verse 16. But now they desire a better country, for that is, and heavenly. Wherefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he hath prepared for them a city.
Now we're going to read the inspired quote. Order is the law of heaven, and it should be the law of God's people on earth. What's the shiniest thing you've ever seen?
The sun. What's the shiniest thing you've ever seen?
Probably the sun also.
Do you know how many gates there were in the New Jerusalem?
12, right?
Yes.
What were they made out of?
They were made out of pearls.
What color do you imagine the street of the New Jerusalem?
Gold.
Well, in the Bible it says that it was so pure that it was clear. God is preparing a city where even the streets are beautiful. That tells us how special heaven is.
Let's talk about the latest news on the New Jerusalem.
Did you know that the New Jerusalem had 12 gates? 3 on the north, 3 on the east, 3 on the south, and 3 on the west. It was 4 sides and 3 gates on each side. So 4 times 3 is
12.
And they were made out of pearls.
Isn't that astonishing? Pearls. And it wasn't just a door, it was a gate.
Speaking of pearls, do you really know the significance of pearls in the Bible?
Why yes, I learned it with my teacher, Miss Tanya. They have great value in the Bible, and Jesus talked about them.
Yeah. In the Bible, pearls are often used to talk about something very precious and valuable. Jesus used pearls in a story to help us understand how special God's kingdom is. He said, "The kingdom of God is like a man who found a pearl so beautiful and valuable that he was willing to sell everything he had to buy it." This teaches us that knowing God and being part of his family is the most precious thing we can have.
I forgot to mention a few things that pearls also represent. Pearls represent purity. They're white, and most of them are white. And also, they symbolize wisdom.
Like in Proverbs, he talked about them being wisdom, right?
Yes.
Do you know how pearls are made? First, something gets in the shell. Sometimes a tiny grain of sand or a little bug sneaks in the shell of an oyster or a mussel. The oyster doesn't like this intruder, so it covers it with a smooth, shiny substance called nacre, also known as mother of pearl. The oyster keeps adding layers and layers of nacre. Over time, after a while, all of those layers turn into one pearl. Pearl divers and farmers collect them. People that want to find pearls go to collect oysters from the ocean. Today, many pearls also are grown on pearl farms, where people help oysters make pearls in a safe and careful way. David, what color do you imagine the streets of gold are like in heaven?
Yellow.
Kind of. In the Bible it says in Revelation 21:21, gold is so pure that it looks like clear glass. And do you know what the gold represents in the Bible? Gold is just very special in the Bible. It's not just shiny and beautiful, it means something deeper. Gold represents holiness. Gold doesn't rust or fade. It reminds us of God's perfect and eternal character. It also represents God's presence and glory. In the sanctuary and temple, many things were made out of gold, like the Ark of the Covenant. It reminds us that gold is used for things that are close to God. And it also reminds us how faith is tested. Just like gold is refined in fire to make it purer, our faith grows stronger when we go through trials with God.
Now we're going to tell you the
Perimeter of the New Jerusalem. First, you grab all the sides, put them together in one straight line, and whatever that is, well, that's your perimeter.
But to get the perimeter, since there's only 4 sides to the New Jerusalem and they're all 12,000 furlongs, you just have to do 12 times 4, and that's 48. So 48,000 furlongs.
This class has helped me understand how God is a mathematician and a perfect God. And like the spirit of prophecy says, He is a God of order.
What I learned about this course is that if you group numbers together, it is easier and faster to count.
We want to thank our teacher, Mrs. Tanya Mercado, our mom, and our classmates for watching this.
Thank you.
Goodbye.